Hi, Brock Davidson from Brock's Performance, here with Don Guhl from Guhl Motors. One of the cool things about knowing smart guys like Don is I can ask him to do things. When we get new bikes like the ZX-14R that are sophisticated, have far out electronics that are a bit above the norm, as we progressed here with our development of the 14R, I asked Don to go in with our flash and figure some things out. Now, one of the things that we noticed, if you saw our other videos, was this bike went into a, for lack of a better term, a safety mode, where if you, under the right conditions, if you got on the gas too quickly, put too much load to it, it would go in and try to save the rider and take some power away. Well, I put Don and his skills to work, and Don was able to go into the code in the ECU, find out what was going on. Don, I believe, was more of it was sort of a traction control kind of deal, and lo and behold, you found it, waved your magic wand,
a big one,
and eliminated it. So now, instead of having to remove the secondary throttle plates and deal with the corresponding power loss, Don was able to go in and take that out electronically. We just tested it here on a completely stock bike with the stock ECU. I was able to put it in the safety mode. We swapped ECUs quickly, and it's gone. Thanks, Don.
I suppose it worked.
So now we can electronically do the equivalent of removing the secondary throttle plates. Don, you were also telling me you were able to go in and make some additional changes. What were some of the other changes we're going to incorporate into the Brock Flash 2?
Yeah, there was some revised secondary throttle opening that we got them to open sooner under all conditions, so it should be more consistent. And then the other changes have to do with the selection of the traction control modes. The way the stock bike works is you cannot turn the traction control off while you're moving. Now you can. With our new flash, we can set it so while you're moving you can turn the traction control off. The other big thing, especially for you drag racers, when you turn traction control off on the factory bike, then shut the bike down. The next time you start the bike, it automatically goes back to traction control mode 1. We are able to set it up so it remembers the traction control mode that it was last in, even off. So if you turn the traction control off, then shut the bike down, the next time you start it, the traction control will be off. So the drag racers don't have to remember to shuffle through and turn the traction control off every single pass. We've taken care of that for you. So essentially, once you turn the traction control off, it stays off, completely off, forever until you turn it back on.
I'll tell you what, that was when Don was explaining that to me when we discussed it previously as to whether or not I wanted that into our flash. I'm a firm believer that when a racer is getting ready to make his or her pass, you don't want to clutter your mind up with having to go through a series of steps, and just keep it simple so that you can keep your mind focused on your task at hand, which is paying attention to your procedure, your set procedure, do your burnout, focus, get up there, concentrate on the tree, and make your best pass. You don't want to go through your combination of things. So now I think that's absolutely fantastic. So very happy to hear that that's incorporated in. I think from that point on, we're good. Were there anything else that we worked into this thing?
I think those were the biggies.
There are little modification in there to we suggest our pair valve mod for the deceleration pop. You worked a little bit of your magic to try to eliminate that a little bit more, which is nice for the guys that don't want that. The guys that do want it, take the pair valve out and let her pop. Some guys think it's cool. Besides that, we are going to, for our customers that already have our original flash, Don has a very nice program. If you've already paid for it once, he will reflash it at no additional charge. All you got to do is pay the shipping to get it back. So you don't even have to send it into Brock's Performance, send it directly into Don. If you've got any questions, just go ahead and get a hold of get a hold of Don directly. We'll make sure that we've got the contact info in our YouTube video here. So anyway, I'm gonna go out and give the bike a little ride with the new tune-up and the new flash in it, and make sure everything works on the street as well as it worked here on the dyno. We'll give a quick look, and we picked up even with the stock exhaust and everything, no other changes. We'll show you what we've got here on the dyno. Did a fantastic job, picked up some peak power, and definitely picked up some nice power when it wasn't in the protection mode. So Don, once again, fantastic, great work.
It's good to be here.
Love working with you, and keep up those tricks.
Yeah.
For Brock's Performance, I'm Brock Davidson, Don Guhl, Guhl Motors. Until next time, we'll see you then. If you look at these two dyno graphs, you can see the difference between safety mode, which is the blue graph, and non-safety mode, which is the red. At 7,800 RPM, the bike's making 140 horsepower versus 167 horsepower when it's not in safety mode. We're measuring the secondary throttle plate openings, and you can see they're only open 64% versus wide open here on the red graph. If we go down all the way through, there's a dramatic difference in power all the way up the curve when the bike's not in safety mode. And with the new flash, the secondary throttle plates are opening fully at about 3,200 RPM versus the old flash, they were opening all the way at about 5,500 RPM. Now, one of the advantages we have by being able to keep the secondary throttle plates in place instead of removing them, we pick up a little bit more peak power, 192 horsepower versus 190 in the peak area. Of course, that's not just the secondary throttle plates. There's also some ignition timing that is thrown into the Brock Flash that Don puts in there for us. So we also get additional RPM in the over rev area, so after you shift the bike you fall back into a meatier part of the curve, which helps acceleration. So overall you can see where you get a nice gain all the way across the board, but you also don't have to worry about dropping into this safety mode anymore. So just wanted to show you some of the advantages, and by not getting into this safety mode, you're going to get considerably more consistent operation and more consistent passes, especially when you're at the drag strip. So until next time, Brock Davidson, Brock's Performance.